So let's talk about this LO in this video. These are our blood types right here, right? It tells us the antibodies and the antigens that these blood types that these blood types have. So when we're trying to match blood types, so these are going to be A antigens. These symbols will represent A antigens, B antigens, and RH antigens. Whenever there's a plus at the end of a letter, that means that it has the RH factor. It needs to have that plus. If it has the minus, then it has the antibody of the RH. So, for example here, when we're trying to figure out if the blood types match with each other, we have B minus blood donating to A minus blood. So here's our B minus blood. And we know that type B blood it'll have the B antigen, and it'll have the A antibody in its solution. So that's why we put it under here, under this line. So the A antibody, and then we also, since it's a minus, we have the RH antibody in the solution. And for type A blood, we have our A antigen. We also have our B antibody in the solution and our RH antibody in the solution, since it's a minus. So if we're trying to donate a type B minus person donating to a type A minus person, we take this RBC with the B antigen on it and we carry it over, and then we have to include it in the whole solution right here. So this RBC with the antigen on it goes into this area. The B antibody matches with the B antigen. So therefore, this exchange would not work because this would connect in here and it would destroy this red blood cell. So here's another example we can try. A plus blood tries donating to B minus blood. So we have our A antigen and we have our RH antigen because it is plus. We do have the RH factor in this case. And with our B blood, we have our B antigen and our A antibody. And we also have our RH antibody because it's a minus. So we try donating and we include it in the bottom with the antigens. And this actually is a double whammy because this will connect here and this will connect here. So this type of transfusion will not work. So here's another example we can try. AB plus blood donating to A plus blood. So our AB blood is going to have our AB plus blood is going to have our A antigen, our B antigen, and our RH antigen because we do have the RH factor because it's a plus. And with our A plus blood, we have our A antigen, our RH antigen because of the plus, and then our B antibody. Okay, so we take this RBC with everything on it and we donate it over here in the solution in this area, and we will still be unsuccessful because we have the B antigen binding to the B antibody. So this is another no-go. So here's another example with O plus blood donating to B minus blood. So we line up our O plus blood with both antigens because it's going to have both antibodies because it's going to have both antibodies, as we can see right here. And then we line up our B minus blood with just the B antigen, and it's going to have the A antibody and the RH antibody because it's minus. So we try and we take this RBC and we donate it into this solution, and we will be unsuccessful because this RH antibody will bind with this RH antigen, making the blood cell explode, and therefore it is unsuccessful. To show you an example of where it actually does work, when you have O plus blood donating to B plus blood, again, to line it up with our antibodies, antigens, O plus has both antibodies on it. So we have A and B antibodies here, And it has, since it's a plus, we have our Rh antigen on the RBC. And now with this B plus, we have our B antigen and our Rh antigen and our A antibody. So when we take this RBC and we donate it to the B plus blood in the solution, in here, this doesn't bind with this because the shapes, they don't match. So this type of transfusion would be a success. If we had A minus blood donating to AB plus blood, this is what it would look like. First, you have your A minus blood, so you have your A antigen on it, and then you have the B antibody, and you have the Rh antibody because it's negative. And then the AB plus blood. So the AB blood has no antibodies on it, because as we can see right here, there's no antibodies. So, and it has the Rh factor, so this antigen is on the RBC right here. So if we try to donate this blood over to here in the solution, there's no antibodies here, so that's perfect. In fact, AB blood is known as the universal recipient, while O blood is known as the universal donor. That's just a fun fact. But anyway, this transfusion is a success. So in this example right here with O minus blood donating to A minus blood, we have our O minus blood that has no antibodies on it, but it has all the antigens. And then we have our A minus blood with just this should be. We have our A antigens on it, and then our B antibody and our Rh antibody, again, because of this minus. So we take this RBC and we bring it over into the solution. And there's no antigens on this RBC for any of these antibodies to bind to. So this would be a successful transfusion.